BooDebunkers, scene 1, take 17.
Hello, welcome to Scott's Odyssey.
Cut. Wrong channel, Scott.
Oh, hold on. Hello, welcome to BooDebunkers. Spirits and ghosts and cryptids.
And space aliens.
Yes, we may not be able to prove that they don't exist.
But we can sure try to prove they do. For centuries, things best described as paranormal, or outside what we humans consider normal, have captivated the imagination of mankind. There are those who believe.
And then there's those, like us, who are skeptics, who want to believe, and our mission on BooDebunkers is to investigate all things unusual and unconfirmed, looking for that hard evidence that turns us into believers.
We have assembled a team to help us in these investigations. Each one has a particular field of interest in paranormal phenomenon, cryptids, and all other areas. While they may hesitate to call themselves experts, they all have experience in looking for the evidence.
With their knowledge of where to find the evidence in their specialized area, they'll be joining us as we make this journey of discovery. We want to find the proof that's not explained by science and logic.
It just seemed almost fitting to kick off this first episode with Bigfoot as the subject of our search. Sasquatch, Yeti, skunk ape, whatever name is used is a pretty commonly reported cryptid. BFRO, the Bigfoot Research Organization, has cataloged sightings from every state in the U.S., with the exception of Hawaii. And their list shows Pennsylvania ranks as number 12, while other repositories of sighting data listed as high as 3rd.
Any of those lists make it obvious that you have a better than average chance of encountering one of these creatures if you spend much time in the forest and woodlands of the Keystone State. Look at this. What I think that was used for.
Well,
Let's see. Oh yeah. It's happening. Nah, we're not getting a clunk. We need a better clunk. Pull up the Unga Bunga.
for a little background, there were a few weeks ago reports of some prints being found alongside the lake in this area. And we're here to kind of check that out. They weren't the greatest print castings I've ever seen. Would you agree on that one, Scott?
I would totally agree that those print castings needed a whole lot more print than casting. Along with the story of how the prints got there, the lack of photography of the casting and of the prints previous to taking the prints. Yeah, there were a lot of steps missed. A whole lot of steps missed.
So we're kind of hoping we can find some ourselves.
At any moment, a park ranger is going to come up and he's going to be like, so we have reports of someone beating a dead tree with a dead stick. And then we're going to get in trouble and be asked not to do that. This area is Prince Gallitzin State Park. And like all state parks, it is very lacking in any form of the atypical underbrush of the wonderful Pennsylvania. But it's a state park. So what would you expect? I mean, you have to have your Frisbee golf course. Hole number 2. No trees with any identifiable scratchings, peelings, bendings, twistings. It looks like a state park, nice and clean, super clean. Too clean. What do you think, bud? Is it too clean?
Well, it's, I wouldn't say too clean, but of natural, typical forest understory, definitely too clean.
Well, there's definitely footprints here. And it looks like a maybe 100-pound buck.
I got one here, kind of looks like a horseshoe.
As you see here, we're passing some more of the indigenous creatures of the area. They call them the humans. Not sure if they are the feral humans or the more herbesque humans come to the forest.
Well, I think they put a lot of riprap in here.
Remember, kids, if nothing else, you're getting an adventure into the Prince Gallitzin State Park right by the lake area. That breeze is actually chilly. Feels great. All right. Normal squirrel dig. I was only pointing out the squirrel dig because it is so populated over here or busy with people that I want to make sure other animals actually come into the area.
Now here, you want an animal sign?
Ooh. What kind of animal did this?
Something digging into the rotten stump
And rooting.
for insects. Likely a skunk.
Most likely a skunk, yeah. Definitely rooting. No signs of tree fall.
What's that?
No signs of tree fall.
No.
In the recount that we're following, there was a tree fall incident that was potentially harmful to the person who was doing the investigation, but we're not seeing any signs of that. I'll tell you what, this be damn hard to find a footprint in.
But it does look a lot like the area.
But damn hard to find a footprint in. Let's see. That's 230 pounds, not even a shoe print. But holy cow, some big snails. Some really big snails.
Oh, yeah.
Monster snails.
Are you hearing human? Oh, yeah, somebody coming down there.
Wait.
It's a puppy.
Hey, buddy.
Look at that. Did we find them?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Friendly. Come here, buddy. I think we're supposed to go that way. Come on.
Ah, now this is where we would look for prints.
Exactly.
More snails. Let's see what my boot does here. Well, my boot leaves a depression, not a print. But if I were running or jumping, we have most likely deer track. Most likely.
And just for clarification,
Oh, this is soft.
there was rain last night.
This is soft but not wet. And just like with the ODDySEEy hat, we get rid of the spiders. He's somewhere here. beaver damage. Skunkweed. Don't break that.
No. I think we can head back out here.
All right. It's all clear on the right.
Restrooms.
Some more tracks, but that's a little different. All right, so definitely a deer track. If you don't see it, I'll come all the way in on it. That's definitely a deer track. So that could be a floor scrape, maybe a piss pot. If you don't know what these terms are, leave a comment down below and we'll explain what they are. If you're not Central Pennsylvania deer hunter or any kind of animal hunter, you might not know. So just ask. No deer scraping. Do have branch breaking.
Yeah.
So something pushes through here frequently. Lots of branch breaking, but that could be human, although there's no human print. And they continue over that way into the brush. Somebody randomly shooting shotgun shells, maybe hunting duck, geese. And unlike all the other channels, we're bringing this to them in HD or as close as possible so that it's not like crappy filming. We don't do crappy filming. And we know what we're talking about. Most of the time.
Minimum of 4K.
Minimum of 4K. Depends on how hot the camera gets and how long the battery lasts. Oh my gosh, he really buried his weight because I'm barely even pressing that down. He was like, boom, I am out of here. And he took off this way. Where did he snap off to? Probably right through here. There we go with more. Yeah, he would come through here. That's the deer. Took that branch out on his run. But was he running in or running out? That's a good question.
I'm going to say he was running to the lake.
Yeah. So that was a forward stop. That's where he stopped and he went, oh shit, where do I go now?
Yeah.
And he looked
up.
around. Tail in the air, head looking back. Something was chasing from up that way. Hey, you can see a path going all the way up there. If I move the camera back and forth, you'll see how the path clears out. That deer path. Poor bugger. And somebody came running through here as well. Hey, a hawk feather.
Yeah.
We'll leave that to go back to where it's supposed to go.
Lots of hickory nuts. That explains why the deer are
I see
here.
the hickory nuts everywhere. Some big ones, some little ones. You see them? Hickory nuts. They're all over the place. Free food. Not for us.
Well, definitely got human prints.
Yeah, none here.
Well, this one's unquestionably a shoe. A few indistinct depressions, but nothing that I would call a print.
Nuts everywhere. Back down to the beach with these ridiculously large snail shells.
That's some pretty serious escargot, dude.
There's some, here we got a fishing lure and deer print. Or, no, I don't know, deer or dog?
Probably that dog we saw.
Yeah.
Probably that good boy we saw.
Yeah. Just look for toes with claws. Meanwhile, I'm totally forgetting to look back over that way. That's how you walk past them. Either that or you forget to look up because he could be in the top of the trees. Using his mind control. Apparently there's mind control involved with a squatch. Take the easier route. That's a lot of nutshells. Now here's a clue. Somebody lost their hat. May have been Bigfoot. Some strange symbol. If anybody knows what that is, please put it down in the comments below. I didn't bring my sample bag.
I left it in the backpack in the car.
Ooh, clearing. Non-golf course clearing too.
Fits the description.
Fits a description.
Like with 37 other spots. A second, Scott.
Ooh.
You know, I'm not the
Look at that.
biggest supporter of the idea that every little
Look at
triangle of trees you find is indicative of Bigfoot, but
that. Yeah, it's a whole little teepee thing.
have to
Could
have
be
to
natural,
admit,
but
yeah, it's a rather unusual natural collection. Can we put it that way?
yeah, and we got some scraping on the branch here, like it was pushed past or moved out of the way, but not enough for a deer to rub.
I mean, granted, it all could have fallen from the canopy above.
But then why isn't it doing that everywhere else around here?
Yeah, why just at this one lone little bush? Like I said,
Trust me, we didn't come out here before then.
and I'm
My
definitely,
body wouldn't handle that.
yeah, once is enough.
Nice eye though. Good eye.
I'm just not,
Nothing
you know,
similar.
I don't consider that a definitive sign in
No.
most cases, but I just find that interesting because there's not a lot of other than this large one, not a lot of other limb detritus.
That's the thing. Like this one
Around the
behind it
area.
has a limb, but at the same time, there's no other
Yeah,
branches laying. There's no other branches
a
around.
couple here and there, but for all three of them to fall, I don't know. I'm not going to say it is, but I won't say it isn't.
You guys let us know down in the comments. Okay. So that was the sound, if you heard it, of a door closing on a car. I don't know how far from the road we are, but we're on a lake. You hear everything here. We hear everything from the other side of the lake.
I'm thinking we should not have any vehicles closer than that site we walked past.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think.
And then what? Was that not a door closing that just happened to our back right? Was that a wolf? Something like a wolf.
Well, I
versus
heard
a-
that.
That's what you heard?
Yeah.
I thought it sounded like a door
Well,
closing.
it could have been a noisy door or it was rather indistinct, but
And then a wolf could also be a deer,
yeah.
because the bucks will bark at you. Well,
I'm just not, you know, I'm not
walk
convinced.
up a little bit.
Yeah.
See if we kick somebody up. Now, I'm not walking slow for any reason other than keeping my ears peeled for a bolt. The birds, they're screaming. They're screaming over that way. So they're either undisturbed over that way or they're disturbed over that way. But over this way is quiet. Except for the troll plane overhead. Not seeing anything. Nothing's kicked. No other bark, no other kick. Now the birds are active over this way. I don't know if the phone camera is picking that up. Here we find another clue. It's an orange bobber. Why is it here?
Broken line.
That is the question. How did that bobber get here? Could it have been from the waves of the water? The rain from the deep forest? Did it fall from the sky? Or was it thrown there by a sasquatch? We don't know. What is that? That looks like one of those, what are they? They have a fly.
Yeah, like a gall.
Yeah, a gall, that's it. Maybe a gall.
Could be.
Let's give her a squishy. Yeah, it's hollow.
Yep.
That was just a gall. Leave a comment down below if, number one, you know what a gall is. Number two, what is a gall? Somebody was eating a little bit of the freshwater clams, or freshwater oysters. Or nuts.
Well, this brings up the question.
Is it a puddle of nuts washed down from the hill?
Or something feeding here?
Yeah, it could go either way. They'd have to be real floaty boys to not be in that lower pit down there. That is definitely lower over there than it is here. This is kind of shallow. Yeah, I would find that interesting. There's lower spots before you get here.
Again, nothing definitive.
But that's a whole lot in one spot.
And it's really, yeah, if you look, there's not a lot of angle leading to this point.
I just made an assumption when we walked past it the first time that it was just because it was in a divot,
I
a
did
hole.
too.
But all these other holes are way lower and they don't have that collection. I mean, they're way lower.
Yeah, well, even here where it's roughly the same height.
And from the lakeside, there's like this perfect little bank. It was about a foot, foot and a half, and with the grass goes easily 3 foot. So you could like just sit there and be munching and watching what's going on. Plenty of foliage behind you.
Well, here's another interesting find.
Yeah, that's what I was capturing. Like somebody was munching on freshwater oyster. Freshwater oyster.
Yeah, you're correct, an oyster.
Yeah, I got corrected so many times, it's a habit now.
But the fact is the hinge is still intact.
Yeah, the hinge is intact.
That is unusual. Speaking of which, totally unrelated.
Yeah.
Seen Netflix, the new Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy?
I have it on my list to watch. Haven't watched it yet.
I just saw
Was it worth it?
I don't know. Haven't watched it yet.
This is my drug addiction, people. I still do nicotine. It's an ADHD thing. You'll understand that if you research it. But started watching one that I found really interesting on Netflix called Evil. It's essentially got this guy who's Catholic seminary becoming a priest, and he's short time in it, so he's 3 or 4 months out. He's got this chick who's a psychologist, was a legal psychologist, a forensic psychologist, and this dude who's a techie, and they stereotype them all, because you know, female psychologist, stereotype the techie as an Indo.
He investigates miracles and hauntings for the church.
Yeah.
I started watching that. That was on CBS for 2 seasons.
It got the 2 seasons, toward the end of the 2nd season. The 3rd and 4th aren't on Netflix yet, but I was really into the 1st season.
First season was good.
Second season got a little weird, and then it got dark the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are they doing that? They had something, but
yeah,
we're not them. We're actually real. We're real people.
We're us, and I'm sure at least some part of this is going to make it into the final cut.
Yeah.
You did hit record this time.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
I hit record this time.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm okay with this going in, because this is what we're doing now. Is we just did our initial examination, and well, we didn't find our site.
We didn't find any prints.
No prints. Some dog. Well, we found prints: dog prints, deer print, people prints.
Yeah.
Found some scat, which I didn't record because I'm pretty sure it was human. 90% sure it was human.
And we still have some standards.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have standards.
Pretty low, but some.
Might be a little bit different when we hit paranormal, but because that's not real. But we'll prove that to you. You don't have to take our word for it. But what we did find.
We found an interesting structure that, again, it's like a lot of them. Could be natural, but we can't say for certain it was natural.
Yeah, and it wasn't big enough for a person or anything. It was just a little teepee, but still.
And rabbits don't generally build teepees.
Why did a teepee get put together in a location which is not frequented by people? Because they'd go, ooh, grass touched my leg. Oh my gosh, a tick. You know, so that didn't make any sense. And then there were the nuts.
That's the one I found the most interesting, was that collection of
Because
nuts.
it should have collected into the lower holes.
Well, in any other location.
Well, yeah, that's true. There were no other locations where it was collected like that. And even though there was a 1.5 foot bank and then tall grass, when I looked onto the other side, and I think I have footage of it, I'll have to double check that, but it wasn't in a cove location where if there was storm and it all collected up on the water, it would have pushed right into that spot.
Yeah.
There was nothing like that. It was just very dead straight
It's not,
shoreline.
Nothing that it was a natural explanation.
Yeah, wish we would have found much more, but you know, time limits, things to look at.
And also, how long did you want to really watch us meander around through the woods? You know?
We did it until we couldn't handle the sweat anymore. It's not the bugs. We don't have a problem with bugs. Matter of fact, I didn't see gnats until I came back up toward the humans. The humans. Stay away from the humans.
But I hope you enjoyed this one.
Yeah,
it was kind of an interesting afternoon. Like I said, some things to think about. We may be back again because, again, we still have those reports that we're working with.
Yeah, we're working with a good handful of reports that sightings happen in this particular area.
And this is Cambria County is a hot spot in the state.
And fortunately, at this time, it's close to us.
Yeah.
Close enough. It's not really close, but it's close enough.
Close enough that we can go, hey, let's go spend a few hours in the woods here.
Our purpose is to come out and find something, anything, that is more than a blurry picture, a poor quality picture, a cast that when they take it, it looks like they took their hand and scooped a hole in the rocks. And even when the cast was pulled out, it was full of debris and rocks in it. And it's like, that's not how you do a casting. There was no photographs of the area. There were no measurements taken of anything. It was just decided that it was a footprint That was
I think
actually,
there were measurements. in
I
some
didn't
pictures.
see the, I didn't
Different
catch
locations.
those. But for this
Someone else
location.
had access to those and sent those to me.
Okay. All right, we'll have
So
to,
there was a measurement taken.
we'll try and get some of this into the,
Yeah.
yeah, all right. But this is our first video for BooDebunkers. Visit us again.
Understand, this is this is a passion project for us.
Yeah, we like cryptids. We like paranormal. We like
we both got
UFOs
our
and
own-
UAPs.
We've both got our own channels, and you know, regular publishing on one channel is a big enough issue. And you probably saw some of how long our attention span is today when we were out there.
What's that? A squirrel? No, it's not a squirrel. It's actually a pileated woodpecker. He's up there screaming at us, bouncing around. There's woodpeckers all over, and I keep going, look, woodpecker. Maybe that's the knocks that they hear in the trees.
Yeah, that could be. But we're we're going to get out and do this as often as we can. We would appreciate the like and subscribe from you.
Definitely,
because
like and subscribe.
It was kind of a hot, sweaty, wet foot kind of trip. Okay, damp at least. You know, I think
And remember, our purpose is not to disprove, but to debunk. The difference being, if we actually find something scientific, well, we found something scientific. And we will definitely dig into that and probably get a little panicky and foamy at the edges of the mouth while talking about it.
well,
Because
even let's face it,
any
even
proof
what we
is
saw
proof.
today, you know, we
Yeah.
can't distinctively say it is, but it sure put the question out there if it was a natural occurrence.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's the kind of information that we're looking to collect. And if we see that repeating in another location, then we're starting to see a pattern. Maybe that's something we can investigate further there.
definitely.
And that's the kind of thing we're looking for. We're not here to disprove, because can you really prove a negative? We can't prove something doesn't exist.
But we can prove that it does.
We can prove that it does, exactly. And that's what our goal is.
All
So,
right.
well, we come up with absolutely no catchphrase to close this one out.
Yeah. Make some suggestions down below. Tell us what our catchphrase for our closeout should be.
There you go.
Or for even our intro, because I'm not going to go Hi Scott's Odyssey at the beginning of every one of them. Oops, wrong show. Hi Scott, can't do that for every show.
Granted, that part was scripted, but
Same-
the rest of the show was off the cuff.
Maybe the next one we could go, you know, you could do the whole day tripping for Raptor PA and start it off that way. Who knows? But come back for fun, laughter, and science investigation on fake stuff.
But hey, in the absence of a channel catchphrase, until the next adventure, have a great week.
See you in the next video.